Hey guys, Yummy here again, and I'm back from spring break, so I thought I'd start out with the next episode in my series talking about what I think to be the best loadouts for each map. And today, it was suggested by one of my subscribers to do the map Propaganda. So I'll just explain what I chose for this map, and why I chose it, why I think it is the best outright for this map compared to the other choices. Now, whenever it came down to which class I should pick, I pretty much just went with the support class. It's one that I found out a little while back is probably the best class for the map, or at least that's what I've found, so I usually choose it practically every time I play this map. And Propaganda is one of the few maps in the game where I actually prefer using the support class over anything else. Usually I'm either doing the medic class or the engineer class because they're, to me, the most useful classes in the game, but there's just something about this map that makes me want to use the support class instead. For a primary weapon, we had a whole plethora of LMGs to choose from, and a lot of them are really similar to each other, but I ended up going with the PKP Pecheneg. This is after another really long round where I went through the M240 Bravo and the M249, and both of them didn't work out very well, but then this round I chose the PKP and it just worked out so much better than the other one. This is one of the most powerful of all of the LMGs with one of the highest damage models and a very slow fire rate, but the damage that it does, that it deals out, just really makes up for it, and it ends up being a very badass LMG. And while it is hindered by the 100 standard magazine instead of 200 and the LMG standard long reload, I didn't really find myself being hindered by this. It wasn't really obstructing me from being able to go on some pretty lengthy kill streaks. Now for attachments for a scope, or for a sight really, I went with the Coyote red dot sight because I wanted a red dot sight. I would never go with a longer range scope on an LMG unless you're really just wanting to sit on your ass with a bipod, because otherwise the recoil is just too substantial to be able to manage to hit your targets. So I went with a red dot sight to be a little bit easier, and the Coyote has that nice open housing to where you can see everything, and the little tiny dot that makes it very accurate at long range even if you manage to tap fire it the right way. And I went with the compensator and the angled foregrip to help decrease some of that recoil, because it does have a bit of horizontal recoil, even though all the horizontal recoils that were initially in the game were reduced substantially. There is still quite a bit on the PKP, so I like the compensator because it reduces that. It may decrease its accuracy and sustained fire, but you're really not going to be sustaining fire very often, and the angled foregrip reduces first shot recoil, so that makes it much easier to tap fire enemies. So this became almost a laser beam whenever I was shooting guys at longer range. Now for a sidearm, I went with the MP443, which ended up kind of not being very useful, because in the end I found myself not using my sidearm very much because the LMGs have such a huge magazine that I would never run out of bullets shooting at an enemy to where I would have to switch to my sidearm to take him out. So the MP443 didn't really come in handy, but I knew why I chose the MP443. I just wanted a good pistol that I could fire at a pretty fast rate to take out guys pretty quickly, and since I had an LMG which is really good at range if you tap fire it, I didn't really need a skill cannon to shoot guys at longer range, so I just wanted a good all-around sidearm, which is normally what I go for, like the CZ75 or Compact 45. And still, sidearms are in the area of personal preference. It really doesn't matter. It's whatever you're comfortable using, because the only time you should be using a sidearm is whenever you're following up with your primary, and in that case, it really doesn't matter which one you use as long as you know how to use it. Now for my gadgets, I went with the ammo box because the ammo box is pretty amazing. You can help everybody out, give out ammo. Since there's vehicles on Propaganda, you can give the engineers more SMAWs, give yourself more C4. It's just all around one of the most useful gadgets in the game. And for a second gadget, I went with the mortar. This is something that I found out a while back. Since Propaganda is such a linear map, you see clumps of enemies all the time, and if you can exploit it the right way with a mortar, you can dish out a lot of damage. I wish you could put out smoke like you could in Battlefield 3, but that's just not the case, but nevertheless, it's still a very useful gadget. For a grenade, I went with the M67 frag grenade, of course, because it's just the most effective grenade in the game now because of how big of a radius it has. And then for a field upgrade, I went with the defensive field perk because it gives you that extra health and then all of the other things like the flak jacket that it gives you. And since you have your own ammo box, you don't need the offensive field perk, which gives you more ammo. So overall, it's just, there wasn't really a reason to use anything other than the defensive field perk. So there we go, another map down and many more to go. This loadout was exceptional on this map. I ended up just screwing it up because the last 5 lives I just died without getting a kill, and that was my own fault. I ended up screwing up a lot and making a lot of mistakes, but this loadout was pretty amazing on this map. So if there's another map that you would like me to do, make sure you say it down in the comments and I will definitely consider doing it. And until next time, if you guys like this, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. This is MMYUMMY. Goodbye and good hunting.